All right, we're back. Morse Code Podcast, episode 145, 6.
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't even check.
Okay.
It got to be at least 160 by now.
No, it's in the 140s. Hold on.
120 at most, now that I think about it.
No, just stop thinking about it. Episode 145. I was right the first time.
Oh, all right. Hey, that's a dentist's favorite time. Heard that one?
I haven't heard that one. No. I've heard the joke you're thinking of, but not that one.
It's 145, isn't it?
No, it's 2:30.
Nah, yeah, you're thinking of a different one.
You're thinking of gynecologist. Good to be back. Good to see you, buddy. It's been a few weeks at this point. We had a few things going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to take our listeners behind the scenes.
You were on vacation.
Yeah.
And then when you came back, I accidentally took a nap and slept through when we were supposed to record.
And that's it. Yeah. So now we're all caught up and we can get moving. No, there wasn't much. I'm trying to think, like, it was there like that week I was in Florida. It was like that weird weekend where a lot of things were going on. It was the Phoenix Suns owner. It was Henry Ruggs. It was Aaron Rodgers. A few days later, it was the guy getting peed on at the concert. That was a great story. Really good time.
I'm glad we were able to get that in before the end of 2021, so that they include that in the montage that they make at the end of the year. Would have sucked if we had to. I don't know, like if you watch like the ball drop for New Year's Eve,
yeah,
and they go over like the big stories throughout the course of the year. CNN will definitely make sure to capture that one. It would have sucked if we had to wait until next year.
Hey, buddy, if this show ever makes the light of CNN, consider that my retirement. Put it that way. Put it that way. So a couple things. Did you want to touch on any sports stuff? Any New England sports stuff?
Like current or the things you just mentioned?
No, I don't want to talk about the things I just mentioned because I've already talked about them.
Okay.
They're old school. I meant more like Patriots, Celtics. Because I think before we recorded last, the Patriots were bad, and now they're good.
Yeah.
So we should just never record again.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know. I think they're good, but I definitely know they're fun. They're definitely more fun.
Yep.
Or like maybe not them, but the experience of following them is fun. That was never the case last year.
Yeah.
Like if this was like Tyler, it'd be like, I'm having fun. Oh, yes. Like this is kind of fun.
And I'll tell you why. They've actually given us reason to be optimistic. I remember saying that Brandon Bolden should have retired many years ago, and now
he looks like an all-pro
running back.
Yeah, he looks like LaDainian Tomlinson, like every third down. It's interesting. I didn't watch any local radio today.
I did.
How was it? How's the reception?
So on Zolak and Bertrand, they're usually pretty positive.
Boy. Yeah, no shit.
And then on Felger and Maz, they were optimistic, but obviously like for the reason that all the teams around them are sucking. Which
that's part of it.
It's fair.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah,
like that's why I guess that's the best way to put it. It is very optimistic.
Yeah,
because I don't know who's good in the AFC. Like I know if you're talking about like Felger and Maz, I know Murray said this a lot last week. If someone were to tell me like, hey, I think the Patriots are the best team in the AFC, I don't think it's easy to argue against that anymore.
Right.
Which is a good thing. Another way to look at it, you could argue that they are the best team in the AFC. You could be the person arguing it.
Mm-hmm.
Not here to argue. I would definitely argue it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I definitely feel good about the Titans game next week after they lost to the juggernaut Houston Texans.
That was crazy.
Against Tyrod puncture my lung Taylor. That was a tough look for anyone. Baltimore almost lost. Pittsburgh did lose. Oh, good night for the Justin Herbert MVP talk. Really good night for that narrative. It'll never happen, but good night for it.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, but I have been just like paying attention to the other quarterbacks, and sort of the other quarterbacks around him have fallen off the way that
big time
all the Patriots opponents have. Like between
Kyler got hurt,
Brady,
Lamar got sick.
Yep.
Mahomes is kind of coming back though.
Yeah, Mahomes on his way back.
He actually has a shot now. if they finish good and he plays well. He has a really good shot. Brady's interesting. I feel like the Bucs have been I think they had a recent bye week and they play tonight, but they've been kind of quiet lately too.
Mm-hmm. Dak's story,
the Antonio Brown
story.
Yeah, Dak's done. He won't win. Who is like the favorite right now?
I think it
can't
Kyler.
be Herbert. Really? He hasn't played in a few weeks. A couple weeks at least. But they're still the best team.
But yeah, at one point or another, all those guys have sort of had like peaks and valleys. But Herbert's been not win.
Not a chance. It hasn't been a very clear path for the MVP. Just going through some notes I wrote down real quick. So Patriots good, AFC bad. That's fair. Herbert MVP game. I don't know if you want to touch. I don't know if you agree with this or not, but and I know we've talked about him on our show a few times. I think Baker Mayfield is climbing up there for my like most hated players in the NFL. Morally, from like a narrative standpoint, it's still N'Keal Harry, number one overall consensus. But the Baker Mayfield, I don't even know, narrative saga person is so annoying, so tiring. Like he
very
blows.
Tiresome.
He sucks and blows. I really wish they lost. Like, I meant to ask you this too. Like, they beat Detroit by 3. I feel like beating Detroit at home 13-10 is more a loss than a win.
Yeah. I think they would have preferred to lose that game.
Somehow I think it would have helped if they just lost.
Because then they could be like, well, we just had like a really bad day. We didn't come prepared today. But when you win by 3, it's like, no, we played really hard.
Yeah.
We're only 3 points better than that team.
Yeah, Jeff Driscoll took us to the absolute brink in that game.
If Dan Orlovsky didn't step out of bounds, we were losing that one.
Good old Diamond Briscoe in Detroit. Boy, that team really stinks. And who tied with them? Oh, Pittsburgh tied with them. So like I said, again, maybe this is like the title of the episode. I don't know anything about the AFC. Like, if Tennessee lost, that's different, but Tennessee lost comfortably to Houston. That's bad. Who else played yesterday? Chiefs look good. Patriots look good. Titans lost. Chargers won. Steelers lost. Ravens almost lost. They were with, who were they playing? Oh, Chicago. Like, they're losing to terrible teams. You could argue Chicago, Houston, and who's the other one? Chicago, Houston, and who beat, what the hell was I just saying?
The Colts beating the Bills.
Didn't even mention that one. But no, who are the 3 teams that lost? Titans lost to Houston, Chicago. Oh, and Detroit. Even though Cleveland technically won. You could argue Chicago, Detroit, and Houston are the worst teams in the NFL. And they're either beating or pushing AFC playoff teams to the brink. Then Buffalo got smoked.
I didn't see that one coming. I kind of picture that scene from The Dark Knight Rises on the football field where the guy's running.
Might as well
and
be.
it just escaping like the landmine.
Hines Ward.
Those are all the people that got blown up in that scene were all the teams in the AFC, and Hines Ward is the Patriots.
Comes out
just
on
happens
top.
to be standing up.
Yeah. That is weird. They used the real, you know that, right? It was Roethlisberger, Hines Ward, and I think Mike Wallace was an extra as well.
Really weird.
Very weird. The more it gets weirder, the longer I think about it, because it's not like it was like a New York team. I don't think they looked like the Steelers. Maybe Chris Nolan's a big like Steelers guy or something. I don't know why that would be your option. Yeah.
I feel like they even used Heinz Field.
Maybe. It looked like the Steelers
Hines
field.
Ward.
Yeah, that's always been a kind of an unspoken thing.
Does he own that field?
No, but I think it's in his contract. Like he only plays at fields named after himself.
He's got the catch-up guy.
Yeah. That's another story we didn't talk about. The Staples Arena.
Yeah.
The uproar in crypto.com. I think I don't know if we talked about this, but I do agree. I think in general arena names are typically stupid. Smoothie King Arena, like Staples, the company, is about as irrelevant as like a business model and a brick and mortar company as you can get in 2021. But the Lakers were so good. Like Staples is kind of a pretty, I consider that one of like the top arenas. like a
Yeah, like
household
when
name
you
arena.
say that you're going to Staples, I
So
think
you're going to
someone made that
Staples.
point.
Yeah, big
That's
night at
not
Staples.
that's kind of cool.
Right. Don't get it confused. Staples, the office supply store, is very uncool.
Right.
Extremely uncool place.
Sleep Train Arena, Sleep Train Center.
Yep. I mean, I said this even like Gillette Stadium. When that first rolled out, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, it's a razor blade company, but they happen to win like 2 handfuls worth of championships in the entire existence of the stadium.
What else do you think? Like for a non-existent, like something that isn't already out there. I'm trying to think like in New England, if they're to name TD Garden like Bob Stores Center.
The Bob Stores Center. I'm honestly surprised there's not a Dunkin' Donuts arena.
There is one.
Or Duncan Field. Okay, never mind. Edit that out. Where? Who?
Providence. It's where your favorite college, the Providence Friars, play.
Dunkin' Donuts Arena?
Dunkin' Donuts Center.
The Dunkin' Center? Yeah. I thought you were going to ask, like, in general, like, just the most. Like, I wonder what current arena has, like, the most outdated, like, business as a sponsor.
Staples had to be up there.
Staples has to be up there. Like the Minnesota, like Ask Jeeves forum. Like, basically all our former advertisers. Oh, speaking of advertisers, sorry, I forgot to mention the show is brought to you by Cold River Vodka, our good friends over there at Cold River Vodka. I have an order ready to go for some holiday parties, so that'll be a good time. Holidays are always better with booze.
I'm using it to water my Christmas tree.
Perfect. So multi-purpose company. Should get a Cold River Stadium going. That's a sick name.
That would be a good, yeah.
Cold River Arena, Cold River Stadium. If you guys are listening, you should look into real estate and buy a stadium.
The simpler the names, like of the ones that exist, the better.
Yeah.
Fenway. I know that I don't even know what the fuck a Fenway is or what that's named after.
Yeah, really good question. Actually, I have no idea what's Fenway.
Who the hell knows?
Yeah, I think the ones that are good are, if it's good enough, the sponsor becomes irrelevant. Like, for example, like the Garden. It just goes by the Garden now. The Forum, the Coliseum. I guess that's much it. The Rose Bowl. What's the one in LA? Oh, SoFi Stadium.
Mm-hmm. That's
Oracle Arena.
I just thought of another weird one. The Bucks current arena, which is only a couple of years old, but it's like Fiserv Forum. But the way that they write it is Fiserv.forum on the court.
Oh, the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah. I thought talking about Tampa. Tampa Bay still Raymond James, another outdated bank. But yeah, Fiserv Arena is weird for sure. Eagles used to have Veterans Stadium.
What the hell was that named after?
Smoothie King Arena is really a good one for like such a terrible team. The Pelicans are the perfect team to play at Smoothie King Arena. Like, so good. Like, of course, Zion's team plays after a fast food sponsored arena. There's a Burger King Arena, isn't there? Burger King Center. Maybe I'm thinking of the Pepsi Center. That's Denver, right? Or it used to be.
It used to be. Now that one is, I think it's called the Ball Center. Nice. I think. Which if you look that up, Ball is the same company. I know they make a ton of shit, but one of the things that I can picture is like they make the like mason jars. If you can picture Ball written in cursive, which is really
absolutely. I've got some right here. I put them on camera, but you got to pay for that kind of airtime, fellas.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not in the contract.
Mr. Ball, Big Ball's got to get at us about some advertisers,
or at least that's written on the court. Maybe it's not called the Ball Center. Should be called that.
Yeah, that almost make too much sense, huh? Oh, here's a good one. Ranking 12 strangest stadium names in sports. Let's run through this real quick. Oh, yeah. When the Cardinals just started playing at University of Phoenix Stadium, a strictly online school with no physical presence. The Chicago White Sox play at Guaranteed Rate Field.
Wow.
Number 11, Smoothie King Center. The KFC Yum Center is where Louisville basketball plays.
Oh my God.
That's
a disgrace because it used to be called Freedom Hall.
Really? That's pretty cool. Phoenix Suns play at Talking Stick Resort Arena. I don't remember that from the finals. Calgary Flames play at Scotiabank Saddle Dome. That's dope. That's a cool name. Dayton football plays at Welcome Stadium. Oh, these are just getting like weird. I meant like pro sports. Yeah, the Cardinals play at University of Phoenix Stadium.
There's so many good ones. And then they had to, typical capitalism, got to make money off of it. So sell the rights to an actual company.
Isn't Yankee Stadium just Yankee Stadium?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a missed opportunity to sell some ad space.
You think so in that small market?
Company, I don't know. Yeah, good point.
Is there any proven business to ever exist in that city?
No. But going back to my original point, I did think it was like crypto.com arena is interesting for a few reasons. I think you're basically banking on like crypto being a big thing for the future, which I'm sure it is. I don't need crypto nerds jumping down our throat. But it's also weird because like they're being sponsored by like a form of currency. It'd almost be weird. Like 100 years ago if you just like Cash Arena or like ATM Arena or something like that.
Yeah,
it's just very strange. It's very California. I get it, and I'm sure there'll be more of them. Like there's actually who has I think the Sixers are sponsored by Webull, like their jerseys, and I think Robin Hood is one too. Some jersey. That's interesting now too because you have the jersey sponsor and the stadium sponsor. So. It's just capitalism at its finest. They're the worst, dude. They're so stupid.
Like, put them on the shorts. Why do you have to put them on the jersey, at least?
I just don't get it. Like, you've gone, 73 years without needing, like, corporate sponsors on your jersey?
Right.
Like, you don't need the money. Like, the WNBA needs to raise more money. And they need to be, like, decked out in sponsors. And it looks terrible. Like, I think that's one of the reasons, like, optically, people can't buy into the WNBA because it just looks like a gimmick. Like it looks like European soccer.
Yeah.
I hate that about the WNBA. It looks so stupid. But I understand if they're looking to raise more money. The NBA, I don't think needs to do that.
Not once have I watched a Celtics game and then immediately thought,
I need to print something.
I need to buy some business cards, some personalized business cards.
I will say last year or the year before, I was watching the Celtics game and immediately logged on and bought a GE washer and dryer.
Oh, I was going to say I immediately signed up for electricity.
I'm not there yet.
No,
I'm not there yet. I'm not.
You've never been an early adopter.
I think it's a fad, to be honest with you. I'm going to let it ride out a little bit. Were you an early
investor? Come to my house and check it out.
That's sick. Is that what it's behind you?
Oh, yeah.
That's dope. Yeah,
dude, everything in here is lit up.
That's sick. Yeah, my house is just littered in old wax candles from like the 1800s. Did you want to talk about the LeBron incident?
Sure.
Go ahead. Oh no, I didn't see the game. I didn't really see much about it. I saw more of it this morning actually, because I just saw. What was I watching last night? Oh, I was watching You last night. I'm almost done You. You can touch on that real quick if you want. But I just saw like the ESPN app in text what happened, but I didn't really get the full scope of it. That was pretty good. It's pretty legit scuffle for the first time in a while. I saw people saying Malice in the Palace too, which I thought was a little overboard, but
yeah. There was no way that fans were going to get involved there, but like,
no.
Did you see the punishments that were handed down today?
I did. Pretty strict.
I don't know what to think.
Okay.
Meaning, so obviously Isaiah Stewart got 2 games suspension and LeBron got 1. And people are saying like the one that LeBron got is actually pretty big just because it's the one time that the Lakers are going to be playing the Knicks next in New York, that town that you were talking about earlier.
Sure.
I feel like they both deserved more of a suspension, but
me too.
But if you're only going to give Isaiah Stewart 2, then I think Adam Silver actually was pretty fair in giving LeBron 1, because I didn't think that he was going to get anything, honestly.
I think if there wasn't any blood, it would be different. I think once you saw that kind of blood, it kind of escalates it. But yeah, I mean, I guess LeBron I don't know who instigated the like interaction, but LeBron was the first one to physically instigate it, and he got him pretty good. But yeah, then Isaiah Stewart just lost his mind. Went like absolutely out of his mind. But that's a good point, because I feel like I'd consider a pretty significant scuffle. And there's been smaller ones all the time where I feel like I remember guys getting like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So
I don't know if they're just being like, no. I was gonna say maybe it's just the NBA being like a little more liberal with that and just saying no, we're not gonna punish this that severely. But no, I think it's just because LeBron's involved.
I don't think the libs are at fault in this one.
Dude, if you watch the video where, first of all, there are like 17 different angles of the whole thing, which is funny.
Nice.
And then if you watch the video where it's from like behind one of the baskets, it's an overhead shot. When they show Isaiah Stewart just like bobbing and weaving and I don't know, acting like a fucking running back through the backcourt, getting by everyone. Once he like crosses half court and gets to the Lakers side, you can barely see LeBron in the picture anymore. He's like, I wouldn't say he's hiding behind the ref, but he's definitely like moving backwards slowly behind the ref. And then there's like Russell Westbrook squaring up. I don't know who the fuck he was going to fight. Like,
didn't matter.
It was pretty clear that like no one was getting close to him. And then I saw like clips from Anthony Davis saying like, we got to defend our brother. No one's ever known LeBron to be a dirty player in his 15 to 20 years in the league. It's like, well, he's not a dirty player, but he knows that he can get away with stuff more than
he's not a dirty player,
right? He's more of a flopper, if anything.
Yeah, he manipulates the rules.
Yes,
he doesn't, not like physically dirty,
right, or
like hygienically dirty, but definitely knows what he's doing. Do you see that press conference too? And when Westbrook didn't realize he got a technical, so he was reading the stat sheet.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty funny.
He once again dropped oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I know. Great line. Looked at it for like a solid like 3 or 4 seconds. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's just Russ being Russ, I guess. And then cut off. He's so funny.
Yeah.
He's gonna be very missed, I think, when he retires. Because he'll give you a handful of those every year. Every couple of years, some good ones. He'll literally live in infamy through like Twitter gifs and like memes.
And it sucks because I don't think he, like, once he's done with basketball, I don't see him getting into any form of like media or coaching or anything like that. Like, he'll be gone forever.
No, he'll be gone. He'll be gone. That's the difference now. I think athletes now are so like well invested while they're playing. Like they can actually retire like when they're 35. They don't need to go. They don't need to like, do like a Fox pregame show or something like some of these other guys you can tell probably have to do.
Yeah.
All right. So that's crypto talk. What else did I have here?
What a tongue twister that is. If you say the whole thing, you say it's crypto.com arena.
I think so.
Yeah. I did see people saying like calling it the crypt for short. That's not bad.
No, I like that a lot. And that's what it'll come down to. So I assume, that's not true. The Clippers are getting their own arena, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometime soon. Do they know what that one's going to be called?
No.
There's not a Microsoft stadium anywhere? Isn't Ballmer Microsoft?
He is. So, yeah, I imagine it would be called
Windows Arena. That'd be a sick name. Windows Center. What do we got here? LeBron elbow. So Luke Walton was fired last night. That Woj dropped that bomb in the middle of all this LeBron stuff. Luke Walton out, Alvin Gentry in. I thought that was pretty interesting. Taking the guy who coached at the Smoothie King Center Arena, whatever it's called, for quite some time. That team stinks. I did see a good stat. Luke Walton's second all time in wins in Kings history.
Wow.
Besides Rick Adelman, obviously.
I didn't think he'd been there all that long.
Doesn't matter. He's been there for what, like a few years now?
Yeah.
Luke Walton. What a weird career. He retired pretty early, didn't he?
So did he?
Kings. Fire Luke Walton, RIP. Oh, tough look for Lukey. I feel like the Kings have been terrible for a long time, but I hate to say it, I just don't think anyone really has had the time to care or like pay attention.
Oh,
Like, I don't think the owner of the Kings really knows who the coach is at any given time.
wow.
He coached on the Warriors staff.
Cover your ears, Sean Conrad, if you're listening.
No, I should have put that out there. He's coached some great teams. Warriors, Lakers. Oh, bad Lakers, actually. Really bad Lakers. Kings from 2019. So 2.5 years.
Wow, that's all it takes to get to second and win this.
Yeah, hold on. I might have misspoke. Let me pull this up. Because I think it was like Rick Adelman at like 680, and then he was
great. They're gonna throw the fact check sticker on this episode.
Yeah, all-time Sacramento Kings coaching leaders. Oh, this should show right up. Rick Adelman. Yes, I know that. Here we go. Sorry, got it right here. Nah, fuck it. This is something else. I forgot Oscar Robertson played. Oh yeah, this was Oscar Robertson's main team.
Beats me. I think he played for the Kansas City Royals or some shit.
He leads the Kings in career minutes, field goals, field goal attempts, 2-point field goals, 2-point, 3-point. Oh, excuse me. Buddy Hield leads the all-timers in 3-point field goal attempts.
Damn.
Oscar Robertson leads in field goals missed. Brett Favre stat, all-time interception thrower. Yeah. Here's a trivia question. You know who the Kings all-time leader in turnovers is?
Let's see. I'm gonna say White Chocolate. Jason Williams.
Well, I don't know if that's his nickname too. DeMarcus Cousins. Did he go by White Chocolate at any point in his career?
No, I think I could safely say.
Oh, cool.
For our safety.
All-time 3-point field goal percentage. The big guy, the big fella, Anthony Peeler. No, Anthony Peeler. Seth Curry is third. George Hill is second. All right. The rest is literally just all Oscar Robertson. Oh, steals per game, Meta World Peace.
Oh, wow. I forgot he was on that team.
Steal percentage, Mike D'Antoni.
Wow. Okay. The team has also had a ton of uniform changes, I feel like.
Yeah, and most of them stink.
Terrible.
All-time usage percentage leader for the Sacramento Kings. Most used king of all time. DeMarcus Cousins. Just above Chris Webber. And then Mitch Richmond, De'Aaron Fox, Rudy Gay, Tyreek Evans. Kings have had some cool players. And the rest is literally Oscar Robertson.
Hashtag used king.
Yeah, seriously. Absolutely.
That's where LeBron should finish up his career.
Sacktown?
Yeah. Hashtag retired king.
Yeah. Oh, good call. That'd be sweet. That'd be great marketing right there. Last thing I wanted to touch on about this stuff. Did you see that comment? I thought it was interesting. You guy kind of got roasted for it by LeBron stands, I assume. But Stephen A said he doesn't think LeBron's going to win another ring. Got some backlash.
I did see that.
I don't think it's that crazy of a thing to say.
No.
Like if I'm assuming like the career bet is in the plus. Like he's not favored to win a ring again.
Yeah. I mean, last I checked, there's damn near 30 other teams that could also win one. So odds are against you.
Yeah, I'm counting right now. Hold on a second. Sorry, having some issues.
Hey, no need to apologize.
Those dogs are cuckoos. What were we saying? Oh, LeBron, yeah. No, I don't know. It's like his team's not very good now.
No.
The league is very good, especially his conference. And I don't know if you've heard this. He's like 36, 37 years old.
Father of three.
Father of three, married man of faith. It's going to be tough.
Strive for greatness.
And he's suspended for a game. And he's playing reckless on the court.
Yeah.
Like you were kind of joking about him like hiding. I would absolutely get as far away from that scenario as I could.
Oh yeah.
I would like pull a Bo Jackson and like just sprint through like the tunnel, like just into my locker room and just wait.
It's been far more injury prone now.
Yeah. Yeah, he was out. What was his injury this year?
I think it was abdominal, which is right above your kneecap. If I'm not a doctor, but somewhere.
Yeah. tore his abdominal.
I just remember this. Did you see that
abdominal.
post from him when Odell Beckham signed with the Rams?
Yeah.
That was so fucking terrible. Just writing like an imagined conversation between
that
him
one.
and Odell.
Yeah, it took me a while to realize that wasn't fake. That was the weirdest part. Odell's a weird, like, I was thinking about this today. I know we talk about this kind of a lot, but like how sports has shifted into people tend to follow sometimes like individual athletes instead of like players, or individual athletes instead of teams. Odell might be like the biggest one in football. Like Odell definitely has like a huge bandwagon of stans.
Oh yeah.
Like they've gone Giants, Browns, Rams, and it's like I think he's pretty good, but I don't know. I really don't expect him to do too much in LA. That being said, I kind of wanted the Pats to grab him. Just why not? But
yeah. Well, you rarely ever see a football player, especially a receiver, if they do start to trail off, whether it's his fault or not, they rarely ever then like make the climb back. Like Randy Moss is one of the few that I can think of.
I think Antonio Brown was almost doing it until recently with Tampa. True. But yeah, you're right.
So it's like,
yeah, football's pretty linear. No, not at all. I just think it's kind of weird. He turned into one of those guys who took on like a like bandwagon of fans.
Yeah, I think it's just because like he's only had mediocre quarterbacks, so people really want him to prove that whatever, he's the best at his position or whatever you want to think of him.
Yeah, I don't really know what people think of him or want to think of him. I don't really think of him too much at all, but it's starting to look tough in the Rams world. They don't have a draft till 2047, and I think they haven't won since. I know they lost a week after Von Miller. I think they had a bye week, so I guess they just lost once. But again, goes back to the thing. I don't know who's good in the NFL. I think the Patriots can play in the AFC Championship pretty easily. If they look good against Tennessee and win that first game against Buffalo, that'd be pretty cool.
Man, if this team finishes with the 1 seed,
I don't know. Who's the 1 seed now? Still Tennessee? You should get like I wish there's a way to get like
I think it's
you
Tennessee,
get more
Baltimore,
than a loss.
Patriots.
Yeah, Tennessee needs more than a loss from what happened this week. Same with Buffalo. That's like 1.5 losses. What do we got? Tennessee, Baltimore stinks too. Yeah, New England's third, tied with the Chiefs. I don't think we play the Chiefs this year, unless we play them in the playoffs. There's a couple anniversaries to hit on. Big anniversaries today. One is Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. The other is the butt fumble.
Yeah.
Saw that going around the internet. We've talked about that recently. I forget why, obviously. But that deserves its respect. That was a great night.
Yeah.
In the history of life. That
was a good Thanksgiving if you're a New Englander.
Thanksgiving. Oh, that was so great. That was Thanksgiving. You're right. Thursday night football. Thanksgiving night football. That was the one afterwards when like Vince Wilfork was eating like multiple like big turkey legs. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, making them look like lollipops.
Yeah. You see what's going around that kid at Georgia? That like 6'3", I think Tyler tweeted it. He's like 6'6", 350 or something. And he runs like he might run like a sub 540 or like something crazy. He literally looks like a monster, like running around the field.
Yeah, I did see that picture.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Can't be healthy. I really pulling for the kid, but great if you're a defensive lineman. Any other occupation, you're probably at early heart attack risk. Built like that.
Yeah, you're
the only occupation is a professional defensive interior lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, you probably want to get your will in good order because you could croak at any time. Anyway, let's go back to what I was saying. So yeah, butt fumble. But yeah, you pointed in my direction about Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I think it came out in 2010, so it's 11 years. That was, I'm trying to think this before I hopped on. That was after 808s or before?
After.
Right. It went the big three, then 808s, then this. or was this even after Yeezus?
This is before Yeezus.
Before Yeezus, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So between 808s and Yeezus. Where do you have that on your all-time rank? Is it number 1?
Man, it's got to be pretty close now that I think about it. I feel like there's really no skips on that album, except for like maybe the last song I didn't really care for too much. The Pinocchio story, and then whatever.
I don't count the Pinocchio story.
Then the real one, the real last song before Pinocchio story. I can't remember what it's called, but it ends up
Lost
in like
in the World.
Yeah. I guess I liked his part in that.
You wouldn't know good music if it bit you in the nose. Who Will Survive in America?
Yeah. It was just like the spoken word part, which is whatever. But I guess
I was asking you, in today's political climate, who do you think will survive in America? The libs or the Republicans?
Yeah, I'm not at liberty to say. I'm a moderate myself, so.
Oh boy, okay. Jeez Louise. I'll kill you to take a stand once in your life. Yeah, it's I've always said it's probably a toss-up between this and Graduation for me. I think I was actually talking to someone, maybe it was my brother a couple weeks ago. This is one of the first, and maybe even the last, real, like, from beginning to end, like, albums like that you could feel kind of like tell a story from, like, you have it benefits you to listen to it in order. Now, like, music, I don't really listen to much new music nowadays because
Adele Morse over here.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but it's like just when stuff just like I wake up and stuff will just be on like Spotify streaming. I'm like, oh, okay, like I guess this is new. Before, there's build up, singles come out, music videos come out. This one obviously had like the feature length film built up to it, but yeah, it's a great album. Mm-hmm. Like it is like a masterpiece of an album of artwork. It's a work of art.
For short, yeah.
What were the one that was going around Twitter today were your top 3? I think my top, I said Gore, and I like, it's when I hear questions like that, I kind of automatically like don't include like the singles. I guess the singles are what? Runaway and Power were the first ones. Yeah. Maybe Monster, maybe All the Lights. I don't know. But I said Gorgeous, Devil in a New Dress. And then I think I said All the Lights, but there's probably like 5 or 6 that are interchangeable for like that third one, including the singles. Like Power is great. Runaway, I don't know if you've heard that one. Runaway is really good. That was the
I'll
first
have to
one.
Check that out.
Do you want to take our listeners through your life when Runaway first came out? And what that looked like on your iPhone? How many plays do you think you have on Runaway? And how many different versions and how many plays?
So I remember I had
5 years of the song.
I had something like 10 to 12 different versions of like live versions, leaks from like DatPiff, leaks from KanyeLive.com back in the day. Ellie leakers. And then I remember my iTunes stopped counting because it doesn't go up to 1,000. Yeah, bro, so years ago, I was in the thousands on like multiple versions.
1,000 different versions or plays?
1,000 different plays. But I remember there was the when he debuted it at the VMAs, which is my favorite one. Yeah. And then he did he performed it at SNL.
That was good. Coachella.
Yeah.
Coachella might be my favorite.
Yeah.
That's probably the top. Coachella, SNL, and VMAs was great. I remember SNL was Bryan Cranston hosting it. Yeah, SNL was a good one. The live versions were 10 times better than the album version's great.
Kanye West and Pusha T.
Yeah. People forget Bryan Cranston. Yeah. Pusha T with the hard ER on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, I remember VMAs was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was so good because
that was really good. Damn, that was good.
It was the year after the Taylor Swift incident. So people were like, "Oh shit, he's coming back! Like, what's he gonna perform?
What's this fucking lunatic gonna do?" Yeah, because that's what it's like now. Like obviously now, even the last like 5 years, like anytime he's gonna present a new song, I I just assume the worst, and I've usually been pretty right. It's just going to be something weird. And you're right. That kind of was. It was a little uncomfortable, a little uneasy going into that.
It was the last
Uneasy.
time that what came out was actually like,
Good.
oh, this was good.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah.
I remember the summer leading.
I understand what I'm listening to. I can process these sounds in one like pretty simple sitting.
I'm actually going to listen to this again sometime.
I can take these out and actually listen to the song. Yeah. There's another one though, but I was going to say real quick, I think for a while the live versions are so much better because they were all slightly different. Yeah. Like it was a slightly different, kind of ad lib on the keyboard or whatever you want to call it. And the final album version's fine. It's like 9 minutes. And I think it's good. But yeah, the live versions were sick, especially at first because that's all we had. Like it came out pretty early based on when the album came out and the movie too.
I remember thinking the summer leading up to that. So like the performance happened in September. The album didn't drop until I think it was November. Well, yeah, obviously November.
Yeah, it was around this time. Oh, yeah.
The summer leading
it was around this time, I think.
He was performing. He performed Power a few times, and remember one of them was first of all he came out with like the huge, like absurdly. It must have been like a 20-pound chain, and he performed at like the top of a volcano.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then that was also the summer of Good Fridays, which was cool.
That was a great summer.
When Monster came out, I remember thinking like, I'm gonna like this album a lot. And then
that's a good point. I'm trying to think, wasn't on the album.
Huh?
What was on the album? Power, Runaway, Monster was one of the last ones to leak.
I'm so appalled.
Maybe. But yeah, no, it was really good. And that was back when you still like went out and bought albums. Even if you bought it on iTunes, it was still like you had to actually like physically spend the money to buy it. I think that was probably still physical album days.
Yeah.
I think I remember I just downloaded it on iTunes, but yeah, that was a good time in music for sure.
And then I forgot that the next summer was Watch the Throne.
Yeah, that's the other one I was trying to think where it came out, like in what order. So he went, the big 3 solo albums, 808s, which I know you and I both like, but that was at the time that was seen as like kind of a step back. I mean, it was just different. So it was kind of looked at like a step back. Then Watch the Throne. Honestly, I'd probably say Dark Fantasy and Watch the Throne are probably more comparable than him and some of his other solo albums. I'd probably say Graduation and Fantasy, and then Watch the Throne's right there too. I know it's not a solo album, but that's another pretty good work of art.
That's a strong. I think you just named 6 albums. That's a strong run.
His when he we've talked about this before. Going Dropout, Registration, Graduation back to back to back is big time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think people probably, I would hope, appreciate 808s more now than at the time, but that's still a all-time album in the grand scheme of things. And then this, and then Throne. Yeezus was probably the hard line in the sand for a lot of people, myself included.
I think 808s, a lot of people look back and attribute like all the artists that came after him and got really popular, especially Drake, to being influenced by that album.
Probably. That was Cuddy's first appearance, I'm pretty sure, at least on like a mainstream album.
Yeah.
It was different, but it was just different. Like it was nothing like Graduation or Dropout or anything, but nothing's been like that since. The closest one is maybe a handful of songs on Fantasy, and then maybe a handful on Watch the Throne, but that's fine. Like I understand artists evolve, but the evolution got a little weird at some point. And then all the off the court stuff too probably didn't help.
No,
I think he just it's like as soon as you start getting into fashion, like you said, probably around like the Dark Fantasy time. Because remember, Watch the Throne was a weird fantasy time, fashion time too for Kanye. That was like the leather skirts.
Yeah, the kilt.
The kilt. Yeah. That was like, it's almost kind of like when it was probably a bad comparison, but like when like athletes get like in trouble or like do something terrible, and it's like, well, is he good enough where we can kind of watch this like weird, terrible off the field stuff away? We'll let it slide. Like when he started doing fashion and music, the music was still good enough to like outweigh the fashion.
Yeah.
But he just went the wrong way. Like the off music stuff got way more intense and the music just went way downhill. And dude, I know we've talked about this before. Like there's been signs of hope. Like I don't think he's released an album where it's like they're all duds. You can at least pick out a handful of good songs from each album.
Mm-hmm.
But no skips wise, there hasn't been a no skipper since Throne.
Now you just see him just wearing like all black and fishing boots everywhere.
Who knows? Well, now he's selling these things too. Before he used to just wear them.
Yeah.
Now he's actually manufacturing them and selling them. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, yeah, 808s was not 808s. Fantasy was just red jackets, which are pretty cool. When did he start wearing like those Wesh masks, suits? When did he wear like the weird like Knights of the Round Table masks?
That fucking pissed me off.
That
Jesus.
was weird.
Because I remember I went to that tour and he wore it the whole fucking show. He wore that.
Yeah.
And he wore like an Inspector Gadget trench coat.
I mean, on paper, that sounds pretty cool, but
yeah, it's tough to beat on paper, but you got to play the game.
Yeah, it's like the LA Rams. Great product on paper, but boy, does it not work on the field. I'm trying to think every album. Pablo would just wear like big crew neck sweatshirts and dad hats. That's okay.
Yeah, and there were definitely some
some
hits on there.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great album. I'm talking more like fashion. But that's a good point. Pablo was probably a little peak. Like maybe he's coming back.
That was Favre on the Vikings.
Yeah, and then I think that weird like album he recorded out in Wyoming was that throw to Tracy Porter in the NFC Championship game. And it's like, great season. We saw some glimmers of hope, but you're 43 years old and you're throwing the ball completely erratic.
Yeah.
I think you should stick to copper tone or copper fit. Oh, we're going to let you go, Brett. Coach wants to see you. Bring your playbook.
And no more dick pictures, by the way. If you
Brett,
wouldn't mind.
Keep the camera phone off.
It was one thing when you were putting up a decent QBR, but
yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe stay off Fox News for a couple weeks and put the camera phone away and just stick with reading the playbook and an occasional copper fit ad or Wrangler, whatever you're doing at the time. That's a great 1-2 punch of sponsors, Wrangler and Copperfit.
Is that just what he wears?
Strictly? I don't know, but that's who he sponsored at the time.
Yeah.
He had that target demographic chomping at the bit, hook, line, sinker.
Everywhere he goes, he's just wearing denim and a knee brace
over his denim. Yeah. Say what you will about that's why I respect Shaq. Does it it's like the old Michael Jordan quote, Republicans buy sneakers too.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq will take a bag from anyone. Yeah.
That's such a good tweet. The one from Tyler. Sure, it's like Shaq would endorse genocide if the check's still cleared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So I do kind of want to break this down. So we had fantasy with, his clothes. You're right. They were like big red jackets. Well, the good music era. Those were like the black and white suits.
Yeah, that was a good era.
That was a great time. Even I loved 808's fashion too.
Yep.
Haircut was a little weird, but that was like the gray suits with the big heart.
That haircut was so fucking strange.
Yeah, the Antonio Brown, Nino Brown, like middle
big ass mullet sort of thing.
Oh, forgot about that part. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Graduation was the stutter shades. That took the nation by storm. And then Dropout and Reg were pretty similar. That was still like the sweaters and backpack. Relatively normal looking guy. Cool looking guy. Rugbies.
Yep.
Big chains. Sunglasses, you name it. What was like the big baggy sweatpants era? That's somewhat recently. I feel like when I see him now, he's just in big baggy sweatpants.
Yeah, he's just been wearing
for $7.99.
Yeah, he's just been wearing baggy sweatpants and all black, and then like weird ass shoes for I don't know the past 3 or 4 years.
The runners.
Between the boots, the wave runners, or maybe not. Maybe they're not called wave runners, but those
I know
foam
what you
things
mean.
that were up.
The ones that look like fossils.
Yeah, yeah. They look
Did
like
you
T-Rex
wear
heads.
those when you ran the Boston Marathon? The easy runners?
I had my Crocs on for
Or
that.
did you wear the boots? Oh, Crocs. Nice. Yep. What's his most recent project? Oh, Donda. Oh, Donda was just spiked masks and full leather zip ups.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know what direction it's going, but it's not great. I
love a haircut on that guy.
Yeah, the hair has always been one. Remember his haircut for the Taylor Swift incident? That was a weird one too. That was like a shaved design.
Yeah.
Weird thing. Now he's wearing like a poor man's version of that haircut, like pretty much.
The poorest.
Yeah. Homeless man's version of that haircut.
Dude, and then I didn't realize until recently that he also had the barber shave. Well, I guess he could have done it himself. He shaved his eyebrows completely.
Yeah, I didn't realize that till that weird picture. He's going through a lot.
Shaved his eyebrows and then told his barber, put a blindfold on and hit me up top.
Yeah. Finish me off. He can't be in a good place, I wouldn't think, seeing the Pete Davidson, Kim Kardashian news. That's a tough rebound to be on the wrong end of.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy. King of Staten Island, they call him. I think Pete Davidson's pretty funny, but he's without a doubt one of the weirdest looking people I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, he has to have like that.
Something.
That rumor.
Yeah.
It sounds like more than a rumor that he has a massive hog.
But that, like, it's Kim Kardashian, though. That can't, is that really still a driving factor? No pun intended.
That's true. And like
what does she
could
care?
It be bigger than Ray J's?
I don't know. I think it's like, I think celebrities just, again, going back to Kanye, just try to do the weirdest shit they can think of. Yeah. Like Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson dating is very weird. It's a very weird news story to get like publicized. Here we are.
That whole family. So it's Megan. Oh no, that's Megan.
No,
Fox
I know what you mean. They're all kind of lumped together. Megan Fox and MGK. You're thinking of Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian. And Kourtney. Just as weird. I love Travis Barker, but he's a weird looking guy too. Because they're all like super skinny guys, like unhealthily skinny people covered in tattoos is a weird looking one. Yeah. It's like, what's his name? Wiz Khalifa. Remember, he was like super skinny, obviously God. Covered in tattoos. Very weird guy. Famously dating a prominent model. Another one of Kanye's exes, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
His exes have a type, for sure. Skinny, tatted, weird looking is the next step. So good for him. Jay-Z's had a weird hair progression, too, if you think about it.
Yeah, he got
has like
Cam
weird,
Newton
almost
going.
Like Cam Newton. Yeah. Who I would assume is leading for comeback player of the year through 2 weeks, which is crazy. He's not, but he's playing well. Shout out Dan Bolio for that one. That was weird seeing Cam Newton play, period, and then play really well over the past couple of weeks.
Very weird.
I didn't
think. Yeah, no, I'm
happy for him, I guess.
I didn't think that he would be throwing for. I think I saw it was close to
positive
200 yards yesterday.
Where was that last year?
Hashtag keep pounding.
Are we going back to Pete Davidson? I lost track of our agenda.
No, that's the.
Oh, okay.
That's the Panthers hashtag.
Yeah, sure is. They're a sneaky team. There's so many I wouldn't be able to like comfortably place money on like predicting the playoff picture for either conference. There's a lot of decent teams right in the middle, and they flip flop every week.
Yeah,
like Patriots didn't play yesterday, and they jumped like 3 spots, like in the rankings. Cincinnati's back in, Cleveland's out. Arizona and Green Bay are at the top, but Kyler injury hurts. Green Bay just looks weird. Aaron Rodgers looks super weird. I've noticed over the past few weeks. He's not looking well. He looks very old. Very weird haircut for a guy of that stature.
He's got that soccer hair.
He just looks like he doesn't. I'm sure this is true, but if I was him, like I'd at least play the part of like, I care about what's going on. He doesn't look like he cares about his life whatsoever.
Mm-mm.
He just likes going on the Pat McAfee show and like saying really polarizing things and then pretending that no one's going to care about them.
You think Dr. Joe Rogan is covered by his health insurance? Is that an in-network provider, you think?
I think he's got to pay out of network pricing. So it's good.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's good. What else? I think that's all I had on my list. Anything else you wanted to hit on that we might have missed since we're back?
Let's see.
Oh, I did have one thing real quick. I guess it's more of a quick question. Did you watch the Kevin Garnett documentary?
I haven't yet. I need
Me
to.
Me neither. Yeah, that looks good. Let's try and watch that for the next time you come on. And then I kind of mentioned this earlier. I haven't watched the Brady documentary yet. I don't think anyone's talking about it.
No, what's the point of watching it while he's still playing? There's no like mystique, and he's already on the fucking internet 24/7. So this isn't like nearly as cool as watching a documentary about Michael Jordan 25 years later.
Right. And what's weird too is it's like, I think every episode is every Super Bowl year, but if it's really focused on, I'm pretty sure, I think it's 9 episodes, one every Super Bowl. I'm like 99% sure. If that's the case, like not much has changed Super Bowl to Super Bowl, like I don't think there's going to be this new groundbreaking info every episode. No, especially if it's centered around Brady. Even if it's centered around the team, like those first 3 championships, that was virtually the same team, same story every year.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
Everyone in New England already knows every detail that there is to know about those seasons, anyways.
Right. It just makes no sense why it would come out now. And even if he was with New England, I still don't know if I'd watch it. Now that he's not with New England, I don't know. I've kind of, now that the Patriots are fun again, I haven't really paid much attention to Brady and the Bucs this year. I know he's having a decent year, but it's not like last year when it's like you could turn off the Patriots games at halftime every week,
right,
and just do literally anything else. But I was thinking about compared to The Last Dance. I think I said this earlier, either off the air, but like nothing's ever going to compare to that. I think it's just. Like it just completely changed the way I think we as like a culture view like sports documentaries, because it had everything working for it. It was right at peak early quarantine, like peak pandemic, when pretty much everyone was starting to realize like, okay, like this might be a real thing. We're all home. It aired, and also it's just available to stream on a paywall network. The Brady one. Yeah. Like Last Dance came out on ESPN Sunday night primetime, 2 episodes every week that we would all watch together. Like we've talked about it all the time. That was by far the best night of the week. Like during quarantine, no sports, no real new shows. We would all come together, watch this documentary, and like Twitter was great. The content obviously was great. And to your point, it was still like retroactive enough. It was like 20, 25 years ago. This one, even if it aired once a week on like Sundays, like before or after like Sunday Night Football, or maybe like Mondays, I guess maybe I'd watch it, but I don't know how it's going to be received. I don't know anyone who's watched it. I've never talked to anyone about it.
Yeah, the other thing is, remember how The Last Dance was like initially supposed to come out later, and the internet basically bullied ESPN into
we need this now,
releasing it early. Like that was cool. Because there was so much buildup, and people were looking forward to it. And
I remember that.
Yeah, I checked the other day because I was curious if I have ESPN Plus, and I do. And I started it, and I got like 2 minutes in, and I was like, I'm really not interested in this, and then turned it off.
Well, there's also Tom versus Time on the Facebook Watch, which is okay. But again, it's like, how much more do we need? Like, there's not going to be any new footage, I don't think. That's why Last Dance was a lot of cool, like, old school, like, new footage. Some new story. I'm sure, like, diehard, basketball historians probably knew most of what came out in The Last Dance. But there's still, every episode had something new and interesting.
Yeah.
This one, like, seriously, like, what am I going to learn? The only thing that I would be interested in is if they touch on, like, Malcolm Butler, Eagles Super Bowl, which they're probably not. So, that's that. It's kind of like the book, the Wickersham book. I feel like that had a huge hype, and then no one's talked about it.
Yeah.
Including Felger and Mass. Like, they actually addressed it. I remember one episode. They're like, you guys talked about this book for like 6 months, and you haven't mentioned it since it dropped. And they're like, yeah, it turns out it kind of blows. And like, there's really nothing in it that wasn't like already leaked. So
really, damn. All right,
yeah,
I'm
they
glad I
haven't
didn't
talked.
get the book.
I haven't gotten the book. I still haven't read the Dynasty book either. It's been collecting dust, almost going on a year now. I got it for Christmas last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm looking right at it.
there she is. Yep. What I mentioned earlier. So yeah, as far as TV goes, I should wrap up You tonight. 2 episodes left. That show took a interesting turn. You finished the whole series.
Yeah.
I'm right at the part where it took a clear turn of interesting scenarios with the
Which
neighbors. When they started hanging out with the other neighbors intimately.
Oh, okay.
That was interesting.
It sure
was
was
like the Leo, like, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. Like when that storyline started kicking around. That is a great show. You watched Squid Games.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
That's good.
In general? You did like it? You thought it was good?
Yeah. I think my only issue there.
Go ahead. Leaned a little too far left for you.
I thought that there were either a couple games or episodes that were a little slow. Or maybe I'm just thinking of like the scenes where they're talking about how they had to defend themselves at night and like basically not go to sleep and shit. There were a couple
everything
instances
outside of the games weren't very entertaining.
Yeah.
Or go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say in the first like 2 or 3 episodes, the main character pissed me off because of how stressed out he was.
Episodes. Yeah, he was annoying as fuck. Nah, I don't like him.
Yeah, I was just like, dude, fucking relax. Like, you put yourself into these situations. You're the shitty dad.
They all did. Yeah. Well, I think it was either like Dragonfly or someone tweeted like, this guy like puts his life on the line and cares about everyone except his daughter. His daughter was like such an afterthought.
Yeah.
He would like do anything for anyone else in the games. But yeah, they all, well, I don't know if this is like a spoiler from the first episode, but they all had the chance to get out. And you knew exactly what it was, and they all had the chance to come back.
Yeah.
And they did. So it's like, no bitching, no ticky, no laundry. I had enough of that. How did you watch it? Dubs, subs, both?
Both.
Caps?
Both.
Captions and English subs? Right?
Sorry, no.
Like they spoke English out loud?
No.
Oh, okay. They spoke Korean?
Yep.
And
subtitles
you just read the captions.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't change. I just did whatever it had at first. It was the English dubs with the subtitles. Some of the English dubs were pretty funny. And now I kind of want to go back and watch it in the native language to see if the voices even sound similar at all. Like the old guy in English dubs was hilarious.
I can promise you they sound nothing alike.
Okay. Honestly, I remember I was watching it with Ari. As embarrassing it is, it took me a while to realize it was dubbed. I was like, either like I'm delayed or like they're not lining up or something, or all these Korean actors just sound like very cliche, like white people, and none of this adds up at all. Huh. And then I'm like, some of the captions don't match exactly. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
This internet connection must be a little slow because there seems to be a little
laggy here.
Lag. Yeah. Also, how come he just said like 4 words and it took 30 seconds?
Right. And then like most things, I did my own research and then found out that it was in fact dubbed.
Yeah.
Similar to WWE in the late 90s with Kai and Tai. Remember we talked about that with Grum? Oh boy, that's bad. That's so bad. So yeah, Squid Games is good. What else is out there now? Anything you're looking forward to? Oh,
real quick, what did you think of the ending?
Honestly, I'm the type of person, like with most shows like that, by the time it ends, I'm ready to just like move on to another show or something. So I know they're going to come back for a second one. I thought it was fine. I mean, if they're doing a second season, that ending's fine. I don't like ones like movies or shows that it's one season and they end with like an ambiguous ending. That's kind of like, ugh. Like Sopranos, I know you haven't seen, but that's a famous one for that. But you knew that. Well, that's not a good comparison because you knew that was the final season. Like same with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones ending was pretty, not a lot of people liked it, but at least you knew this is it. Like I don't have to worry about what's going to happen next. At least now I know something's going to happen next. But I was saying before, I think my favorite like plot line There's probably a handful of plot lines throughout. There's obviously the main, just surviving the games on a weekly basis. There's the main character, following him. There's the old guy and his deal. The brother and the guy, the cop, who's the guy's brother. That was a great storyline. He's probably one of my favorite characters.
Yep.
That was a cool storyline. No spoilers, but I kind of like half called that one before. I knew like what side his brother was going to be involved with, but I didn't know like what rank exactly. Oh, I like those guys. I'm sure you do too. The like the elite guys, like the guests. They're pretty cool. I like what they stood for.
Were they wearing masks, like eye masks, or am I imagining that? Okay.
No, they're wearing like disguise masks. Everything's supposed to be very what's the word I'm looking for? Private.
Yeah, it was almost like
masquerade ball type of
thing. Yeah, I missed those days.
Would you ever do something like that? Like pay money to go watch innocent people play games where only one of them survives? I'm trying to think of like company holiday ideas for us for the end of the month.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Are there like Groupons for that? Because
they have them at like the Garden, like when the Celtics and Bruins are both off. Squid Games World Tour. Squid Games on ice. Oh man,
dude, that last game was. Wait, was that the last game?
The Squid Game? Like the actual, like the one-on-one game?
Oh no.
That game blows. That was the stupidest one out of all of them.
Yeah, that was the worst. I'm thinking of the one where they're
the platforms,
almost like in a video game, jumping from each like glass floor.
Yeah, that game was sick.
Yeah.
Let's power rank the games real quick.
Such a dickhead.
Oh, he was so bad with the dubs. He was so annoying. Him and like the psycho chick with the dubs were pretty bad. But I'm trying to think. So the first one was red light, green light. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was red light, green light. There was the shapes, right? Like in the cookies. The game you won. Oh, the tug of war. That's 3. Yep. The platform jumping game. Oh, and then like the marbles game. That was a great episode. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
They pair off. The girl was a great character. The main character. I don't know anyone's name in that show, but the main character girl was sick.
Oh yeah. Yep.
She was such a cool character.
I couldn't believe
another one. Yeah. That guy turned into a big asshole, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The guy from New York University. Or it was either SNU or some New York University.
I think he did undergrad at Hester College and then he went to
NYU. That's right. And then somehow ended up in a mountain in North Korea playing Squid Games. Oh, actually, I thought this the whole time too, and then I realized how stupid of a thing this was. I thought the big plot twist was going to be, and this is kind of like a reverse spoiler alert because this is not what happened. So I guess if you think what I'm about to say happens, it's a spoiler alert because it doesn't happen. But eventually, after like 3 or 4 episodes, it's like, oh, I know exactly how this is going to end. Eventually, these elites and everyone, they're not going to have one person win and take the money. They're just going to kill everyone and like keep the money because all these people left anonymously, no one knows where they are, right? So it'd be so easy to kill all these people. And then my other thought was like, once you put the winner back, he's obviously going to go to the police and like tell you everything that happened. But I also forgot the main theme is like everyone's wearing a black mask and they drug you and just drop you off on the street. So that's not really an issue. So that's not how it ends. But I thought that was coming for a while. I felt really good about that one for a while. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, that would.
Like there's one more person to kill and you're all rich. Just kill him. What's he gonna do?
Or yeah, you guys are already.
You're literally in a secret. Oh, the worst people. Yeah, so you're just like in a secret lair somewhere.
Who are these people to honor a promise?
Yeah.
I actually did see what happened with contestant number 1. I was pretty confident that was going to happen without spoiling it.
What do you mean? Like the very end?
The twist, yeah. Just because he was contestant number 1 and he happened to be very old.
Oh, that guy. I thought you meant the main character. Oh. I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that. That was a good twist. It's a good twist at the end. That guy was very old.
Yeah.
He could move for an old guy. He could get up and down the court.
The point where I was like, okay, I really feel like this could happen is the fact that they didn't show him getting shot. during the Marbles game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I knew. Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it at the time, but like as the show goes on, you like, you know what I mean? More of these like the guy's brother becomes a little more clear as the show goes on. The old guy gets a little more clear. The one thing I want to see looking forward to next year, obviously I guess what happens with the main character. I really hope also they remember like the cop had everything on his phone. Like he took the video of that creepy guy.
Yeah.
I hope that resurfaces. That'd be cool. I'm thinking that's a pretty easy plot line to build it off of. But my fear is like, I don't know what it's going to be about. Cause like, if it's a continuation of season 1, I don't really know where you're going to go. And I'm going to be kind of pissed if it's just a new group of people playing Squid Games. You know what I mean? Like there's still storylines to carry over from season 1. That's why I didn't picture it as a multi. Like I don't think there's going to be like season 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Squid Game. I would have been fine if they just ended it as a miniseries.
Same. I wanted him to keep going where he was going instead of getting off.
Yeah. Yeah. There is an alternate version where he does get off, and they couldn't air that one on Netflix.
Because I feel like what we're supposed to think is that he's going to infiltrate and whatever, try to take them down. Mm-hmm. But part of me is like, well, what if he just becomes one of the elites somehow? Or the other thing, I was talking to Caitlin, and she was thinking that the cop is not what you think he is. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Since you didn't see him like fall.
Yeah, I guess that one seemed a little more obvious or a little more clear than the other guy. But yeah, good point. I mean, eventually it's like once they do that once, I guess it's safe to assume anytime you don't see someone like perish, they could still be alive. Like in cartoons, like when their souls just like lift up out of their body, like Tom and Jerry or like Wile E. Coyote. I guess it's safe to assume. I thought, who do you think were the best masks? They had the guards. Then they had like the head. I thought the head guy's mask was cool, like the all black one. Almost looked like an MF Doom mask, like all black. The visual, it was a really well done show. Like the visuals, it really was a good show. Another good story was, I don't know if you heard, like the guy who either wrote it or produced it or something, like wrote the script like 12 years ago and has been like trying to sell it for 12 years. And no one bought it until now, which surprises me because it's a pretty unique story. It's pretty good. And it was obviously very successful, like from day one. So if you ever, I don't know, I'm just like, do you often get people like coming up to you with movie scripts asking for you to produce it? And you unknowingly just don't even give them the time of day?
Exactly. I've yet to accept one.
Ugh.
Next,
just, like, sip your Starbucks coffee and throw his script in the gutter.
Yeah, I just hit him with a stamp that says F.
Oh man! Like while he's explaining to you, you just take your coffee and pour it out on the script. Out of my face, old man. I know.
LeBron didn't like the ending. Maybe that's what he got into the beef with Isaiah Stewart.
Seriously, like anytime LeBron gets into like a national subject on Twitter, it's always like so corny, like how overexposed it gets. Yeah. It's like as soon as I don't want to get into this, but obviously like you saw what happened with like the recent court case and him like airing his opinion. As soon as like you see that tweet, it's like, oh God, like you know exactly who's gonna jump on and like either attack him or I guess not much defending him. The China thing's a great example. Yeah. The China thing, the Rittenhouse thing. I guess the Squid Game one took off a little bit, but it's just like, dude, like you can't tweet like everybody else. Like I hate to tell you, can't put out your opinion on these things like everyone else.
Right.
Well, I mean, you can, but you realize it's gonna be on like CNN and Fox News, not just ESPN and like, you know, whatever. Like SVP and Tucker Carlson are going to talk about this tweet, probably both differently, but this is going to be national news. It was kind of like, that was a good time too. Like when the Kyrie thing first started, and like Bradley Beal, and all of a sudden you're seeing retweets from like Donald Trump Jr., like political people. And it's like, oh boy, like, you know, you're dipping your foot a little too deep into the pool. And, Squid Games is fine, but yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting website, twitter.com. Big Twitter day too. Twitter anniversary.
What happened?
Rolled Kennedy. Convertible drop top Kennedy.
Oh.
I don't think Ravel addressed it today at all, did he? I didn't see anything.
I'm not sure.
Out by at least how my timeline's curated. I saw a lot of JFK Darren Ravel Twitter, which is great. I wonder how many people, like, what percentage of the internet know about that? Like the Darren Ravel. I think about it like the Castellanos thing too. Mm-hmm. I think it's just it encapsulates such a big part of like our listeners and our followers and stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, probably less than 1% people would have any idea of what you're talking about when you say Brenneman and like Nick Castellanos.
Oh yeah.
But I'm okay being in the less than 1% for that one. Like I genuinely don't think that'll ever get old. I always think it's going to be funny. Anytime like I just see that still picture of Brenneman in the booth, I'm going to think it's very funny. Or anytime Castellanos hits a home run. Same with Darren Ravel and JFK.
Yeah, those are all solid memories from
Yep. An otherwise pretty dim summer 2020.
Yeah.
A silver lining on a very dark time in American history. The worst part is like
pretty good.
It started out. I mean, it's the Brenneman slur is like the least. Like that's like an afterthought at this point. Like it was a really bad thing he said, and that's what made the news first. But it's just transformed into 100% focus on the apology and Nick Castellanos innocently hitting a home run.
Yeah.
But that's how the news cycle works now.
You saw when his wife was like she decided to clap back a little bit. Castellanos' wife.
Yeah. And Brenneman's dad.
Yeah. Marty
Brenneman. Marty Bird Brenneman. Oh, that's coming back too. That'll be great. January. Oh, Barry. When's Barry come out?
I'm not sure if there's a date on that. I have been watching Dexter.
Season 2. I can't get into Dexter. I'm in a couple of seasons in season 2. Great scene. Yeah. I almost texted you. Great scene in season 2, episode 1, when Hank goes to like surprise him at like the fashion store.
Oh, yeah.
Daddy, it's me. He's so good. He's definitely up there.
Yeah.
We'll put some time on like the Mount Rushmore secondary characters, but NoHo Hank is definitely in contention. He's so perfect in every aspect of his life.
Wasn't Barry talking in an accent in that episode too, or in that scene?
He might have been.
I think him and the girl were talking about like, why does everyone here talk in a weird like British accent for no reason?
Yeah, he was. That was really weird. All right, we can wrap up here. I'm trying to think. So we talked a little Patriots, a little scope of the old AFC, Dark Fantasy Anniversary, Tom Brenneman, Squid Games. It's about time we touch on Squid Games.
Yeah.
Have you listened to Donda?
Yep.
Have you listened to CLB?
Yes.
Do you like them?
I do.
Yeah, pretty good.
I like CLB more than I like Donda. But I
think so too.
I've had a surprising number of like songs that are keepers on Donda.
I was gonna say it's like I said, it's an album where I'd say more than half the songs are good.
Yeah.
You know? And I would probably 75% of them are listenable. There's probably a handful of skips. It's not an album yet where I know every song like by name because there's like 30 songs on each of those 2 albums. That's another like big difference I think now. But yeah, they're both solid projects. Like Donda could have been terrible. It had every opportunity to be a real flop.
Oh yeah,
that was what I was afraid of.
Especially with all the buildup and like the live.
Living in the Mercedes Dome
studio sessions or whatever you call them. Yeah.
Yeah, that had potential to be bad. And then CLB was good. CLB is a very clean produced album. Like really good CD.
Yeah.
Really good.
Several
if you value that in a CD. I was gonna say really good production. Really good good stuff all the way around. So
and now they're coming together apparently.
And who is the other guy? I don't know the other guy. Jay Prince.
So that other guy is, I don't know, he's like a respected, and he's like the Voldemort of hip hop, where apparently like everyone fears him. So I can't remember like whose side he's on. He's not an actual like rapper himself, but
right.
I guess if he speaks, you listen, and that's why he was able to like mend the fences between the 2 of them.
That's pretty cool. I mean, those are 2 good people to connect.
If either of them tours, I definitely would.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Yeah, that'd be a good show.
Again.
I hope, and I know Drake's kind of changed a lot over his career too, but I would hope if they're gonna come together, I would hope Kanye goes more the Drake route as opposed to Drake going more the Kanye route.
Oh yeah,
for their future. That could go south. That could go sour.
Who do you think would win a versus?
Oh, if we're talking actually track for track, probably Kanye. But if they're like personalities are involved, I think Drake could win in 5. Kanye could just start playing like sounds off of his keyboard. Nah, Kanye would take that for if he was comfortable going in like his deep, like going all the way back to Dropout and stuff. He could take that, I think, easily. But that'd be a good one. A Wayne and Drake one would be really good.
Yeah,
I don't think he's in the right state of mind to operate any sort of keyboard though. Wayne, he literally looks like. I'm trying to think the last time I saw him. Not like out in public, but like on video or something.
Yeah, Tuesday at Hannaford.
He almost looks like a dried up, like those old, like dried up, like old trees. Because his hair looks like branches, like wrapped around like his head. His hair looks like just dry and maybe it was on what's that show? He was on like a podcast, not those guys. Maybe it was his own podcast. Remember he was like interviewing Jack Harlow on TV, like on his TV. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't know that.
I think he was very long lived. But no, it's like that podcast you make fun of all the time. Like those two guys who are always like drinking and smoking and saying like the corny phrases. What are those guys?
With Noriega?
Noriega, yeah, that one. I don't know if he was on it, but it was something like that. Oh, Kanye was on that.
Yeah,
that's maybe what I was thinking of. Those guys.
I haven't watched that yet.
I haven't either. Did you watch the Kanye Joe Rogan from a couple years ago?
No, I saw it was like 4 hours. I was like, I don't have this very long time.
It wasn't great. Not a lot of music talk.
Dude, the tweets about Noriega though are pretty funny.
So good. Yeah. So good. Really good. That's a really weird dynamic. Because those two guys are just fucked up. Not like the opposite of like reading the room. Like having someone like spill their soul to you and then you just like cheering and getting chants going in the background. It really is awesome. Yeah. Who was it? T-Pain. That was like the quote that was going on. T-Pain said like something about pretty much like how studio executives have like stolen his entire career. And he's like, yeah, we need to drink to that more often. Hell yeah.
Give it up for T-Pain.
Yeah. He's like, all right. I don't think you really understood, but thank you for listening. Thank you for having me on. This is great.
Yeah, you could be like, I was inspired to make this album because my dad got like run over by a train.
Yeah.
Shortly before I had 3 near fatal heart attacks. And Noriega would be like, let's take a couple shots to T-Pain.
Yeah. That reminds us, today's episode is brought to you by Mercedes, only the best. Driven by the Bernardi Auto Group.
Dude, and like the production quality of the of that show too is kind of funny where when you hear the people clapping in the background, it's loud as fuck. And like it's just really
they're in like a music recording studio. It's not meant for a long form discussion between multiple people.
Remember his reaction to Swiss Beats?
His face?
He was like, it's that 15-second clip where Swiss Beats must have been freestyling.
Hi? Oh, yeah.
He was like, so you're a poison.
Was that? I didn't know who that was. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. That was so good.
That was Swiss Beats who said that?
It's either Swiss Beats or who the fuck is?
No, that can't be Swiss Beats. Is he still married to Alicia Keys?
Yes.
Oh,
yep. I check every day. So
relationship status, married.
Yeah.
Maybe that was him. Man, he looks old.
You a poison, so you gotta poise on.
But like as he's reading it off, Noriega's just getting deeper and deeper into it. Drink champs, that's what it's called. Oh man.
That clip is so good.
Yeah, really good. All right, let's hop off here. Oh, we didn't really talk about Thanksgiving. That's okay though. I hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving. Talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Come up with like a good play-by-play of what you ate and how you felt and things like that.
Absolutely.
All right. Everyone have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.